Hey everybody, welcome to Rebootleggers. This is a comedy-ish podcast where we reboot movies and TV shows that should be rebooted sometimes. I'm Scott Owen.
I'm Frank Serra.
Frank, I'm going to do this entire podcast with my eyes closed. That's how confident I am.
It's called the Eyes Closed Challenge, and we're the first ones to do it.
That's how confident I am. I'm going to keep my eyes closed for the entire quote-unquote hour of this podcast, and I'm not going to look at anything at all. Today we're going to reboot Limitless because that's a movie.
Bradley Cooper film.
The Bradley Cooper film. This was right after he started getting real big.
Mm-hmm.
After the
before he was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, before Guardians, post Hangover, pre Guardians.
Mm-hmm. Right in that sweet spot where people wanted more but didn't know where to look.
Yeah, and they call that Bradley's crevasse in the sweet spot.
We call it the Coop Zone.
The Coop Zone is pretty good too. Either or, they're interchangeable. They're interchangeable things.
Mm-hmm.
But so this is a movie about a man who is bad at things.
He reaches a limit and then discovers that he can less his limit.
He takes a drug and then he becomes good at things.
Yep.
The drug is a brain drug for his brain, and it makes it so that before, when he couldn't write good words, now he can write good words.
Mm-hmm. Bradley Cooper, he's Eddie in the movie. He's a struggling author.
Eddie also knows he can do karate now.
He can do karate now. So, short version, there's a brain drug called NZT. The movie uses the 10% of your brain myth the way that all Hollywood movies do.
Love it.
So there's a drug called NZT. The way it works is it gives you perfect memory of everything you've ever, every little thing you've ever, read or seen or heard and forgotten about. You remember all of it. And so, the way that they explain it in the movie, that this means you're an expert on everything.
Yeah, which is how learning
if I read one book on beginner's karate, it doesn't mean I can do karate, but in the movie, that is how it works.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess theoretically, if you're on this drug, you could watch Bruce Lee do karate and instantly learn it from him.
Which is how he does it in the movie.
Yeah, you just watch Bruce Lee do karate and then you become Bruce Lee.
I guess you only have Bruce Lee's moves, but they would be good moves.
They would be good moves. It's kind of like the drug turns him into Kirby.
Yeah.
Except he doesn't have to...
Kirby from the game.
Kirby the pink ball game man who can... He eats other people and then he poops them out, but through the process gains their powers.
One time he read a book on stock trading and he becomes a Wall Street shark that makes hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah,
he decides that's going to be how I make the money, and I was like, yeah, I could do that.
Plot wise, it's pretty much a classic, the government's coming after you type thriller. He's on this illegal brain drug. He makes people angry. People chase him. Some people try to take the drug away, and then he's stupid for a little bit.
His girlfriend kills a guy with a little girl.
Yeah, and then he finds more of the drug, and then the government's after him again. But he's smarter with the drug, and then the government guy also takes the drug, and now they're both smart. And they're just people shooting people, and people are running away from people.
I thought he was a Russian mobster. He's a government guy?
There is a Russian guy, yeah.
And then he kills a guy who's on the drug and then licks his blood off the knife that he stabbed him with so that he can get the drug in
because
him.
There was the drug was in the blood and he was running out.
Yeah, it's a bit
and then
nasty.
At the end of the movie, he has a whole bunch of a big stash of the drug and starts running to become a U.S. senator, and it's I guess kind of a happy ending.
Yeah, and Robert De Niro is in it, and Robert De Niro is like, "Hey, I can become your supplier and get you more," and Eddie's like, "Oh no, I already figured out how to perfect the drug, and I can take it with no I don't have any of the bad side effects now, because there are bad side effects."
Yeah, there's bad side effects like nosebleeds and memory loss.
Memory loss, but they call them time skips, as if he is traveling in time, which is maybe more interesting than saying he's just blacking out. I guess they could just call them blackouts, but instead they call them time skips because he's literally jumping into the future.
Yeah, it's called mental time travel.
That's from Lucy.
That is from Lucy.
So let's just dive right into segment number 1, which we call Love It or Leave It.
Love me or leave me or let me be lonely.
Where we talk about what we want to keep and what we're gonna get rid of. I mean, obviously we keep the drug.
We keep the drug. I want to keep both the limits and the less.
You want there to be no limits.
I want there to be limits, and then I want there to have be less limits. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I want we gotta have limits so that they can be less.
Okay, I think I kind of want to keep the part where his girlfriend kills a guy with a girl's ice skates while they're still on the girl. She picks a girl up and swings her
around
so that her ice skates slice through a guy's throat.
Yeah.
And then she just puts the girl down and leaves, and the girl is fine, I guess.
It's pretty grisly.
Can you imagine being used as a murder weapon? You're out ice skating with your papa, and a strange lady picks you up, whirls you around, murders a guy with your feet, and then leaves.
Yeah, and then leaves. And here's the thing. She leaves, but the little girl is still on the ice
next to the bleeding dead guy.
Yeah. It's not... They don't really examine what happens next for those people.
That little girl has now been given some limits, I think.
And that's like
on the rest of her life.
One of the points of the movie that I'm not like really that sure about, like, right, is the whole thing with this movie is that dumb Eddie, who can't do anything, takes this drug and becomes great. But nobody in the movie talks about, like, what if a really smart person takes it and becomes like, whoa? Like, that doesn't happen in this movie.
Is Eddie dumb? I didn't think he was supposed to be dumb. He's just like directionless.
Yeah, I guess his whole thing is that he's like an everyman kind of like, he's a struggling author. He's not like especially stupid, right? But he's not a genius.
No, yeah, he's not a genius.
We're like, what happens if like some kind of crazy genius takes this, you know?
I think then their dick explodes.
And then they galaxy brain.
Yeah, I think maybe
their dick explodes, you think?
I think maybe maybe they're just a whole zone kind of.
Is there you're saying there's a sliding scale of brain power and genital power.
No.
And if you max out either end,
the other one explodes.
The other one just explodes.
So if you get too much big dick energy, then your brain explodes.
Your brain goes out.
It's a very delicate balance.
Because of the blood, right?
I guess so.
If all the blood is in one zone, it's not in the other zone.
But then why would the other zone explode?
Well, I guess it would implode.
Okay. Kind of just shrinks in on itself, huh?
I don't wanna keep going on this one though.
I don't think this needs to be in the movie. It's just, everybody knows how that works, and we just felt like it was worth reiterating. Mm-hmm. Okay, what do we want to get rid of? Is he still an author? Are we getting rid of the government and the mobsters? What are we getting rid of?
I think so. In the movie, there's like one interesting thing that happens, right? Is unlike a lot of other movies like say Jason Bourne, right? Mm-hmm. Only Jason Bourne can do what Jason Bourne does. Mm-hmm. In this movie, at a couple points in the movie, somebody random has to take the drug, and then they become Jason Bourne for the scene. So like, there's a scene where his ex-wife is trying. The drug. Yeah, his girlfriend is trying to escape the government, and she's not Jason Bourne. And Eddie calls her on the phone and says, "They're gonna catch you. You need to take a pill, and that way you'll know how to get out of the situation." So then she takes a pill and becomes Jason Bourne for 6 minutes.
And then she knows how to
escapes the government guys.
She knows how to kill a guy with a girl.
Like, anybody can become Jason Bourne by taking a pill is a really interesting angle that this movie didn't really cover.
Yeah. It would have been cooler if like everybody was.
And I know it's a pitfall for us, but you know that we love these ensemble stories. Ensemble.
Okay, so you want more people taking the drug.
Mm-hmm. But I also want, I don't know if this is section 1 or section 2. There's a big question that's been rattling around my brain ever since we decided to do Limitless, Scott. Mm-hmm. And so NZT is a drug that breaks your brain limit. Uh-huh. What other limits can we break? What other pills are out there?
So you're wondering if there's a
pill for brain. There's a pill for, some other things that aren't your brain.
Shoe size.
How can you break the limit of personal space?
So you take that pill and then you become inside of a person?
We can dig more into them, I think, later. But like, what if they're like, what if you can break the limits of your leg muscles?
So you can take your limiters off and then kick really good. Mm-hmm. Like in an anime.
Like in a Japanese anime cartoon. Mm-hmm. And what if What if you can break the limit on your credit card? What if you can break what if you can break the limits of hospitality
Okay.
in a guest's house?
Okay. What if you could break the limits of? I had one and then I lost it. There's speed limits. Can we break the speed limits?
What if you can break the speed limit? What if you can break the limit of
like only? What if you can one sample per customer? Can we break that limit?
what if you can break the sample per customer limit? See, there's all these pills.
There's limits
and maybe,
all around us.
You know how old people, they have the little case with like a bunch with like 20 pockets for the pills?
Yes, only old people use those, definitely.
What if a secret agent is going on a mission and then he looks at his case, and he obviously is well organized and has a label maker, and there's just a bunch of pills that say like brain, legs, personal space, credit card,
TSA.
like, and he takes the one or the two that he needs and like to do the mission.
Yeah, okay, that's gonna be interesting.
And then he has time skips and nosebleeds.
Okay, let's get into
hot snakes.
segment 2 called When and Where. Where we really flesh out our setting and genre. So setting, we still talking modern day, or are we slightly in future?
We can be slightly in future to have fun, I think, or just modern day.
Let's do slightly in future, like Parks and Rec.
Futuro modern, like 10 years.
Yeah, we'll do like Parks and Rec season 7 future, where everyone's got like hologram smartphones and stuff.
Yeah, and you can wag your phone at a TV and it just goes.
Yeah, like the Iron Man.
Like the Iron Man.
So, we've eliminated the limits on data plans.
So many things. Yeah.
No limit.
If you have the right pill.
Unlimited data plans. I guess we kind of already have that now, but just without a pill. But you just got to have a lot of money to handle the unlimited data plan. I think we're gonna keep the same genre.
Yeah, this is gonna be high octane. So many pills.
Premium Rush.
So many people shaking in showers.
We really should reboot Premium Rush at some point. You ever see Premium Rush?
I haven't.
It's a bicycle movie.
It's a bicycle movie.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's a bike courier who does stunts.
Oh.
On his bike. But we're not talking about that now. We'll talk about Limitless. Genre, I mean, yeah, let's just get to the good stuff. Because we've already talked about, the setting, which is he still an auteur? An author?
Yeah.
What's his book? What's he writing now?
What's he writing?
What's his book? What's his book
Is
about?
he writing a book about limit breaking?
About limit breaking. Oh shit, like Final Fantasy limit breaks?
Now, yes.
So now the pills cause you to break limits in the way that Final Fantasy makes you break limits, where you get to do your special move when you take the pill.
They kind of already did, but now we're just admitting.
We could do the special moves.
Yeah.
So you take a pill.
Because like my special move is like Eddie's special move is brain explosion.
Yeah, so now you can take the pill. Now you take the pill and you can do your Klim hazard, which is the big uppercut with your giant sword, and then you bring it back down. Or you
back down.
You bring it back. You go up in the air and then you slam back down.
And then you bring it back. Okay.
Yeah, you have to bring it back down. And then, or there's.
I thought we were breaking limits.
Yeah, but this is the limit break. This is that move. I mean, there's a couple different moves. I mean, you could do blade beam, where you do hold your giant oversized sword and you shoot a beam out of it as one of your limit breaks. That works.
But then the beam doesn't have to go back down.
No, the beam just keeps going.
The beam. Oh.
Yeah. Also, there's Omni Slash, where you kind of throw them up in the air with your giant oversized sword, and then you get to fly in the air and kind of crisscross all around them with your giant oversized sword when you limit break. These are all different limit breaks.
Okay, so guns have been outlawed, and everyone's using swords again.
Well, maybe you have, instead of a hand, you have a Gatling gun on your arm, and when you break your limit, you shoot big energy balls.
But when you don't take the pill, you have hands.
I think when you don't take the pill, your gun arm just shoots regular bullets.
Okay.
If we're breaking limits here.
Look, don't even. We're breaking. We're here to break limits.
We're here to break some limits because we are limitless. Okay, we're moving really fast. I don't know if we need to slow down.
Are you trying to impose a limit on me?
No, let's get to section 3 then, called Who Can It Be?
Who can it be now?
Where we talk about characters and casting.
We're gonna spend a lot of time on the plot, so we'll make it up.
I hope so. Okay, so so we've got Eddie. Do we have Eddie's girlfriend? Probably. I don't know. Well, yeah, because she has to kill a guy with
guy and his friends breaking limits.
She has to kill a guy with a
She has
young
to kill
girl.
a guy.
So she's still in it. Her name's Lindy.
Lindy. No last name given.
No last name given. Lindy, no last name. We've got Lindy. We've got Robert De Niro's character, whose name is Carlos Van Loon.
Yeah.
We've got Melissa Gant, who I think might be his ex-wife. That's his ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
And her brother, Vernon, who is the drug dealer.
Do you know which actor was signed to be Eddie before it was replaced with Bradley Cooper?
I want to say Matthew Broderick.
My friend and yours, Shia LaBeouf.
Oh my goodness. What would this movie have been like?
How different would this movie have been?
Oh my goodness.
Because the entire point of the movie is that at the end of it, Bradley Cooper is in a suit and running for the U.S. Senate, and you believe that he could run for the U.S. Senate.
Yeah,
If Shia LaBeouf was on a podium saying, "I'm running for U.S. Senate," I would be unable to believe that fiction.
And this came out in 2011 when Shia LaBeouf was... He would have been 25 25 at this time. And no 25-year-old should run for Senate. I don't know that they legally can. He's a weird guy, Shia LaBeouf, huh?
He does a lot of stuff, yeah.
Now,
here's the thing. Game recognized game, he breaks limits.
He does break limits. So
he does not respect limits.
Do you want to put him in this? Do you want to give him his due?
He's a limit breaker. Let's give him a shot.
You want to give him a shot?
Under no circumstances will I impose any limits.
You want to make Shia LaBeouf our new Eddie?
I don't know about that.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to limit him.
But you don't necessarily want to make him like the guy.
Yeah, he's in it.
Mm-hmm.
He's in it.
So who is he then? Who shall he be?
What if he's one of the other pill takers? But
Maybe he's
not
Vernon, the ex-brother-in-law, who first gives him his first
Well, we
taste.
also have our cast of other kinds of pill people, right?
Oh, right. We've got other pill people.
Maybe he's the credit card limit pill guy.
So, you just take the pill and suddenly
you take the pill and your credit card will be accepted anywhere.
Well, most credit cards
any amount of money.
For any amount of money, but you still have to pay the bill afterwards.
And then when the pill wears off, so does the balance that you were running.
Oh my goodness, what a good
while
pill.
You were swiping. Yeah, but you gotta clock those tight.
This seems like it'd be one of the most sought after pills.
It's
essentially infinite wealth.
But you have when Eddie takes the brain pill, he has brain for 24 hours, right? Mm-hmm. When Shia LaBeouf takes the credit card pill, he has a tight 30 minutes of spending.
Okay. So it's like in Atlanta when he has to spend all his gift cards in an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, so who is playing our Eddie then?
It's got to be someone that can believably be a U.S. Senator. If you jam them in a suit and say, U.S. Senator Edward Mora, I will buy into that fiction and believe that he is a brain man.
Do you think you could conceivably see one of the Sprouses running for Senate at this point in time?
I do not believe in imposing limits.
I feel like there's a but happening, though.
But we did just talk about how mid-20s is
Shia
too young
LaBeouf couldn't
to be
do
a
it.
senator.
Shia LaBeouf couldn't do it. Okay, so maybe the Sprouses are just a couple other limit boys. Maybe there's only one of them, and he has a pill that breaks. I don't know.
He breaks the omnipresence limit.
Yeah, you can only be in one place
two
at once.
places at once.
Okay, he breaks the limit of multiple.
Oh my god! Hold on, I need to start writing these down.
It's called the superposition pill because he can.
The superposition limit.
Wait.
Right.
Yeah, superposition is what? When one thing is in several places at once? That's a superposition?
Credit card limit is Shia LaBeouf. And I kind of like if maybe it's actor Shia LaBeouf.
He's actor Shia LaBeouf in this.
And he's been using the credit card limit to buy his rich people things?
Actor Shia LaBeouf, no longer an actor because he has acquired this pill. Okay, yeah.
Colon Dillon with a superposition limit.
Or Cole and Dylan. Yeah, I thought you said colon Dylan. I was like, what was before
Like
the colon?
colon?
Yeah, I was like, what was before the colon? Okay, let's spend some time. This should have been done in the last segment. Let's spend some time really fleshing out let's assign a character to each pill like we're doing.
To each pill, yeah. Let's keep it like a maybe Bradley Cooper +5. We want.
Okay, so we've got to. Let's say Bradley Cooper's girlfriend is
It's Lindy.
She's the humans as weapons limit. I don't know. We gotta.
Is the what's like a name? The deadly weapon.
What if her thing is like she breaks the limits on what things are supposed to be used for, so she can use something for literally anything?
Oh, like the Jackie Chan limit. Like a chair. A chair is a karate fighting tool.
Yeah, but it's not just limited to fighting things. Like she could pick up a stick of gum and take a pill, and now that stick of gum can be used as like a radio antenna.
The recommended use limit. She
broke it.
She can use broccoli to stab a man.
Yeah, and even though broccoli ain't sharp, broccoli ain't even pointy.
It's not even pointy, dude.
Okay, what about does
Shia LaBeouf
anyone
as himself.
Who's breaking physical limits? And I'm talking just all around, like jumping and maybe height.
Breaking the limits of the human body.
Yeah, is there a height limit where we can?
We can make Ant-Man?
Okay, no. The height limit is they take the pill and they can ride on any roller coaster in America.
I do not doubt that person is out there. Will we have a place for them in the plot?
Maybe.
You know, there's gonna be more pills than we feature in the movie, obviously, because there's no limits.
What if the pill? I don't know. I just think that'd be very funny if they break everything that says like "do not do this if you are blank." That pill overrides it.
Well, just how about just the rules?
Oh,
anything's rules.
Anything's rules. You take this pill.
You can't do you. I think I can do that.
And then he does do that.
The rules limit.
Shoplifting allowed now.
Mm-hmm. Crime.
That's
for the very short window that he is on the pill.
He gets his own personal
crime
purge
becomes
day.
Legal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If he's playing
just
Monopoly,
for him, though.
he can and then just start taking money from the bank.
Why did you make drinking sounds for pill taking?
Because like
it's not an elixir.
It doesn't really make a sound unless I make a sound.
Yeah, but it's not an elixir. Why did you swallow it so many times?
Well, because it did one of those things where it like gets in the pocket and then you had to like
stuck in the throat. Ugh.
Yeah.
Don't call it a pocket. I don't like having a throat pocket.
It's a pocket.
Having a throat pocket is very disgusting.
Ooh, please. Ugh.
Just like a little pouch that sometimes things slide into when they shouldn't.
I forgot everything.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that you carry that all the way through.
We need one more limit. So here's what we got so far: brain limit, Eddie Mora, recommended use limit, credit card limit, superposition limit. That one's gonna be very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Rules limit. And number 5. Let's see.
Imagination. I don't know.
He can picture anything, but it's just not.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna type into Google limits of and see what autocomplete gives me.
Oh boy.
Limits of trig functions, limits of the known, limits of logarithmic functions, limits of integration, and limits of piecewise functions. Not super helpful. Limits of the known sounds interesting. What about
Okay, all right. I instead typed into Google, what is the limit of the sky?
I got what is the limit of the critical value. Oh wait, there's the sky. What is the limit of a black card? Oh, now
That's
this is
already
a question.
credit card limit.
Which kind of what about the limits of?
Let me try. What are the limits of free speech?
Oh no, we don't want someone taking that pill.
Private property rights.
Okay, so this is mine now.
Science.
Oh, what are the limits of science?
Maybe when they take the pill and the limits of science fade away, they can make like sci-fi tech.
Oh, they become an incredible inventor because the limits of science no longer apply to them.
They can make movie things.
Okay. And
This is a phaser.
this is a phaser. Okay. And who's that character? Let's just make up a new character. Her name's Maggie.
Her name is Maggie. The limit of the rules. We don't have anybody. But
The rules limit will apply to Bertrand is his name.
Bertrand.
Are we assembling a heist crew? It feels like we're assembling a heist crew.
I don't know about a heist, but it's definitely a crew.
We're assembling a crew for something, and that's something we got to figure out in the plot. All right, so give me everyone's name. Eddie, Lindy. What is Cole and Dylan's name in this?
What is Cole and Dylan's name? Is it just gonna be Dole?
Dole? Like Bob Dole?
Well, Dole like Dylan and Cole combined.
Oh, Dole. Like Bob Dole.
Like Bob Dole, yeah.
That's fine. Or like the bananas. Dole bananas. Dole.
Or Kyle with a C.
That's horrible, and I hate it. Do not.
I've already typed it.
You son of a
breaking
bitch.
limits today.
Kyle with a
it's
C.
Kyle, but with a C.
Kyle with a C is one of the worst things I've ever heard.
And I think that's one of his character traits, is that he goes, my name's Kyle, with a C, like just unprompted.
No limits. Do you think that's a thing they all say to each other when like they break to go after they've had their meeting? They all
No
go,
limits.
They all
It's
go,
like
no limits.
Clear eyes instead of like they just no limits.
Everybody hands in. No limits. Okay. So we've got who's playing Eddie. Who did we say is playing Eddie? Did we? We just said not
I think
Colin
we
Dillon.
never decided.
Okay. You know who I want to play Eddie? Jake Johnson.
Jake Johnson.
You know Jake
Can
Johnson?
Can I know, but can you
From New
can you
Girl.
help?
He's Nick Miller from New Girl.
Oh, okay.
He's Peter B. Parker in.
Yeah, you put that bad boy in his suit.
You put that bad
I'm
boy
okay
in a
with
suit.
him.
I'd vote for him.
I'm okay with him being half of the representatives for my state.
Yeah. Maggie, I want Haley Steinfeld because I just watched Bumblebee
Okay.
and she did a good job, and she's like a good tinker in that movie, and I think we can get her to still be like a science person in this. Lindy, let's get Brie Larson. Let's get Brie Larson as Lindy to go kill people with other people and broccoli and stuff. The recommended use, Limitless. And then
Bertrand.
Shia LaBeouf is our credit card guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Cole and Dylan or Kyle with a C.
Cole and Dylan or Kyle with a C. Perfect.
And now we need Bertrand.
Oh, and what is Bertrand's power?
He breaks the rules.
Oh, Bertrand breaks the rules.
Yeah, so maybe someone in a leather jacket.
I think we get... let me tell you who we get. I know his
You know what the
name.
rules don't say, Scott?
What?
That a dog can't take a pill.
You want it to be a dog? I was going to say we make it like Winston Duke is who I was going to say.
And who that?
He's the main guy in Us. He's M'Baku in Black Panther, the Gorilla Tribe
He
guy.
can break all the rules.
He breaks all the rules.
Yeah. We got our team.
We got our team.
Now, does Eddie already know about... I think Eddie, having the brain powers, already knows about all of them, but they're not a team necessarily.
Yeah. Who's been making these pills? Are they just found in nature, these pills?
I guess? Like, in the movie, it's like an unknown government organization.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But what if Eddie has just been, just for fun, just throwing these pills out into the wild and seeing what happens?
Yeah, maybe Eddie's kind of shaking it up. I'm gonna go ahead and move us into our final segment called "What's Going On," where we plot this sucker out. So you want to say Eddie's he's been experimenting with other limits to break?
Sort of. Okay, here's the thing.
He's like, I already broke the brain limits. What other limits can I do away with?
You've seen Static Shock, I assume.
Of course, I've seen Static Shock.
The premise of Static Shock being it's a normal neighborhood. There's a big explosion at a chemical factory, and now all the people in town have powers.
Bang babies.
The Bang Babies. Now, imagine it's sort of like that, right? Where Eddie has this like pill factory, and there's a mistake he didn't see, and a bunch of the power pills got mixed. It got like just out into the wild.
Okay, and then so then some people somehow acquired only specific power pills instead of a
and
collection.
this ties back to my point.
What's
the
your
reason
point?
why he didn't foresee the thing that went wrong is because somebody whose base intelligence is better also took a brain pill like a Moriarty thing.
Oh, who's our Moriarty?
Yeah, well, we don't know yet. And maybe we never know.
Okay.
Maybe Moriarty is Eddie when he's asleep.
Ooh. Eddie's working against himself.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me then, what's the plot of this movie? What's our conflict? What are we trying to achieve?
The original Act 1 is Eddie trying to figure out what happened and keeping tabs on all the people that that got power pills.
Right.
The ones that he's interested in, right?
Yep.
Because somebody did get the height limit pill. He just doesn't see it. He doesn't.
Yeah, he's like, whatever, you're very tall. It's fine.
They're not in his. Well, no, they're not very tall because they're allowed to break the height limit.
Whatever, you're very short.
They're very short, but they can get on any roller coaster.
Yeah, and like, I don't care. They're just like a 6-year-old boy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But when he takes the mysterious pill, he's allowed on the adult roller coasters.
Yeah, still very unsafe though, because there's like a safety reason. Or maybe it's not unsafe for him because he took the pill. Yeah, he's allowed to break the rule. He took the pill. So very safe for him.
So he tags 5 people whose pills
he can find use for.
Well, he tags 4 people whose pills he can find use for. Then his girlfriend has a pill too.
Yeah. Okay. Is he like maybe already aware that someone is working against him, and so he assembles a crew to like
yes.
investigate and figure out how to fight back against that person?
Yes.
Maybe that person is kind of playing with him like Moriarty does, and he like challenges him to some sort of, I don't want to say it's a heist, but maybe it's a heist.
Maybe it's a heist, but like a challenge. Like the first person to steal the Jade Emerald.
Whoever can steal the Eiffel Tower. Something big. I want to go big.
Going to Paris?
You want to just steal the moon?
I don't know how you would steal the moon.
I mean, Gru did it in Despicable Me.
That's okay. Yeah, no. Okay, here's the thing. Here's what I just almost did, Scott. I tried to impose a limit.
You tried to impose a limit on this, which I'm not allowed.
We're not here for this. He's gonna steal the moon.
He's been challenged to steal the moon. If he fails, something bad happens. Something very bad happens. And instead of going to the police,
and the limit of science is perfect because you can make a rocket ship that gets to the moon like a car.
Oh, so fast. Because normally it takes like we can get to the moon in like 4 days, but now they can do it in like an hour. Because Haley Steinfeld's got that rule of science pill, and she's like, no limits on me.
Yeah, and Cole, one of Kyle with one of Kyle. That's gonna be hard to phrase around. One of Kyle can be on the moon while the other of Kyle is back on Earth.
Does that allow them instant communication?
Oh, for sure. Because they're the same person in 2 places. They're not split.
Wait, don't we already have instant communication from us to the moon? How long does it take for light to get to the moon? It's not that long.
I thought it was like I thought it was something like a minute or 2, right?
Does light take to reach? How long to communicate to moon? No, it's a 1.3 second delay from Earth to moon.
Okay,
so
perfect,
we're
okay.
fine.
It's very close.
Very, very close.
Because the sun is what, like 8 minutes?
Yeah,
right?
8 minutes. It takes 3 to 21 minutes for Mars, depending on where the orbits are at. That's interesting. Anyway, okay. So
now, what is stopping them from stealing the moon?
The government.
The government. Okay.
The limits of what they're allowed to do.
What are the rules? Is it just if I get to the moon and I go, got it? Does that count?
I think you have to take the moon somewhere else.
You got to take the moon somewhere else. Okay.
So they're gonna have to dig a big old space warehouse to put the moon in.
Yeah, well, like a really big dump truck. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just gonna like dump the moon into it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Can they make the moon take a pill to get smaller?
Because the rules of gravity.
Or just the size rule, maybe.
Size rules. Yeah, they can make the moon take. They're gonna try to make the moon take a pill.
What if they make the moon take a pill so that the moon can then be on Earth without destroying Earth? Because the moon is like as big as the whole United States.
Okay, so a pill that breaks the rules of logic.
Rules of logic. The rules of reality.
The rules of reality.
Are these pills? Are we making pills that are just Infinity Stones now?
That's what I was afraid of. Like I didn't want to go that far.
Maybe.
Okay, no, wait. Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
I just tried to impose a limit.
I don't know which I like better. Does the moon have to get brought back to Earth, or does the moon have to just be stored somewhere in space?
I think as long as they can demonstrate an ability
to
push the moon somewhere else.
Yeah.
They've successfully stolen the moon.
Affect the tides. Okay, so He goes and assembles his crew, and he's like, "Hey, come do this with me. I need your."
And it's like a dun dun da 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 ba da da ba da ba, and there's like
is that your sound cue for a montage? What does that sound mean?
It's a non-copyright infringing version of the Ocean's 11 beat.
I don't. Can you recall the Ocean's 11 beat that is
no,
copyrighted?
which is why what I just did is the non-copyright infringing version. Now, because it shows all the people like. It shows Bertrand it's stealing from a cash register because he's breaking the rules.
It's an ongoing train of I know a guy.
Yeah. And it shows both Kyles. What are they doing? What are they doing when he finds them both?
Some sort of scam.
One of them is the dealer etiquette. No, because that's obvious if they're both exactly the same.
Maybe he's a stage magician, like the Prestige.
Yeah, one of them. Okay, well, that's just the Prestige. I'm fine with that.
I'm not putting any limits on using the Prestige.
Yeah, there's no limits on referencing movies. So both Kyles. Well, Kyle, I have to get used to that. He's not two people. It's one person in two places at once. Kyle is a stage magician, and both of him are doing a magic show.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's very good. Are they doing close-up magic or far away?
I think they're doing like. I go in the one box and come out the other box magic, right?
Yeah, like
it's like stupid easy.
Yeah, stupid easy.
But then the other box, well, no, because then people would just think they're twins.
Why?
Oh, perfect. He does a what's that movie? He does the butterfly effect thing where like he on stage gets a sick tattoo of a minotaur on his back, and then he goes into a box. And then he comes out of the second box and pulls up his shirt and shows the tattoo.
Okay. And that's in the butterfly effect?
And then every time he's covered in ink because every single show is a new tattoo because the old ones are already there.
Yeah, that works.
So he's got like full sleeves, full back. It's like he's just.
And he comes out holding today's newspaper.
Yeah. And a butter knife.
Okay.
And a fresh biscuit with butter.
So then what's Maggie doing when we recruit her? What is she creating with her?
She's breaking the limit of science.
Yeah.
Maybe just like Ghostbuster laser beam.
Okay, sure.
You know, just like wow.
Doing something awesome.
Shrink ray? Shrink ray? Would Shrink Ray make stealing the moon too easy?
Yes, it would. I mean, that's how Gru did it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we don't do that.
She's making a phaser.
Yeah, for shooting, for murder.
And she shoots people with the phaser.
Yes.
And Shia LaBeouf is just he hasn't been in a movie.
He's just acting out the movie Blank Check.
Yeah. In our movie, he hasn't had a movie in years, but he continues to be super rich. Yeah. And Eddie figures it out.
That's good. And he's just doing Blank Check, so he's got like a VR headset.
I have not thought of the movie Blank Check in an extraordinarily long time.
You're welcome. Do you remember he has that weird big bouncy ball that's like spiky that he sits on?
Yeah.
And he like jumps on a guy with it, and he dates a grown woman.
Dude, nobody was in this movie.
That was a weird theme because in Big, I mean, he's also big, but he's a child, but he does date a grown woman. Does he bang the grown woman? He does bang the grown woman.
I think he does, but I think the movie doesn't play it off as weird either.
No, but it should be. All right, we talked about this in our big reboot with Hannah Chase.
We did.
Okay. What is that? So Lindy's already on the crew. What's Bertrand doing? Breaking rules? Just taking cars?
Yeah.
He's just touching all the paintings in an art museum?
Yeah, he's just doing whatever the fuck he wants.
The fuck he wants.
And also, this movie is PG, but Bertrand swears in every dialogue line.
Because he
breaks the rules.
We break the rules of our own reality. And there's nothing the MPAA can do about it.
Nope, because he's Bertrand.
He's Bertrand. Okay. So, after they steal the moon, is it then revealed? Does Nega Eddie reveal himself?
Sort of. Here's what I imagine for that conflict. They finally get the moon, and Eddie. I kind of like if the entire there needs to be a the lake house communication mechanism between Eddie and Moriarty. Because first of all, I want to make sure that we all get this. His last name is Mora, and if the villain calls himself Moriarty, It's also it's a play on it's Shakespeare, but it's also a play on his name.
It's not Shakespeare. That's Arthur Conan Doyle.
And by Shakespeare, what I meant Sherlock.
Yeah, you meant Sherlock Holmes.
It's why are you posing a limit on my?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It is now Shakespeare.
So, the entire time he has an old flip phone that he receives texts from Moriarty on. Every time he wakes up from a time skip bender, he'll have texts from Moriarty like taunting him and telling him stuff, and he'll respond.
Dip.
He texts Moriarty, "We've got the moon, we win." And then Moriarty, he looks away, and then he gets a text from Moriarty, and it says, "It was a tie." And then he looks in the mirror,
and he's got a mustache.
It was him, because they both stole it at the same time, because they're the same person.
And he's got a twisty mustache in the mirror.
Yeah, in the mirror he's got a twisty mustache. But Eddie keeps talking out loud to the mirror, and then receiving texts that he doesn't realize he's sending with his hand.
It just shows his thumb rapidly moving. Okay, so then how do they defeat Moriarty?
That's up to the other 5. We have to figure that out.
Yeah, so
because Eddie removes himself from the situation and says, "Moriarty is also as smart as me. We can't trust any of my brain ideas. You guys have to figure out how to stop me."
So they don't just shoot him.
Maybe they just shoot him. Maybe Bertrand just shoots him, because you can't do that that's not how movies work. But Bertrand doesn't follow the rules.
Would you like Bertrand to invite...
I would like Bertrand to shoot him in the body.
But how would you like Bertrand to do it?
Oh, are you trying to...
There's something I'm looking
to have
for.
a limit break? Yeah.
No. Well, okay.
No?
Yes, but there's something else I'm expecting here.
Like in the dick?
This is a scene that's in every movie that we need to have in our movie.
Hold on. You mean that Bertrand invites him over and makes dinner for him? And then after making dinner for him, he shoots him?
I do mean that. He'll never see it coming, because no one ever sees it coming when you invite someone over for dinner and then shoot them. Mm-hmm. Bertrand cooks the nice meal.
Cooks them dinner, yeah.
And then he shoots him.
And then he shoots him. And that is just, I think, the end of the movie now.
Yeah, that's the end of the movie. We've done it. The movie ends kind of very anticlimactically.
And then all throughout the movie, people are using their limit break moves.
Yeah, they're using their limit break moves with their giant swords and guns.
Power kicks.
All their kick-ass Final Fantasy weapons that they get from Maggie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh.
It's perfect. All right, that's a movie. That's gonna do it for us. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. Oh, Frank, what's our food pairing?
Oh boy,
we're gonna have to break the limits on this, so it might get gross.
Right. What do only enlightened smart people eat? I feel like it's just Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Churro? Yeah, it's probably just Mountain Dew and Doritos again.
Yeah.
Man, Pepsi, get us some money. PepsiCo, get at us.
The Frito Lay.
Everybody, thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you like the show, please give us a good rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Holy shit, there's a hawk outside my window, and it is eating a rodent. If you like the show, please tell your friends about it. Damn, that hawk is just going to town. What a cool guy. Holy shit. Yeah, if you like the show, there's 2 hawks. They're fighting over... Okay.
Put a picture in the show notes, please.
This is pretty incredible. Until next time, I'm Scott Owen.
I'm Frank Serra.
And Frank, what's our password for next week?
Our password for next week is 2 hawks fighting.